Vanakkam. Welcome to the Yogic Lens. This video is to understand how yoga can be a complementary therapy in controlling hypertension and be a tool in the long run for a healthy heart. The main purpose of this video is to understand the science behind how yogic practices can regularize your blood pressure. We will go over 3 important causes of having high BP and understand how certain asanas and pranayamas can help in regularizing this process to achieve faster results. Remember one important thing, we are not talking about substituting your treatment or your medicines with yoga. What we are talking about is supplementing your treatment with yoga so that we achieve results at a faster rate and in general improve our quality of life. Let us begin by understanding the causes of hypertension. Why do you think some people have higher blood pressure while others naturally have normal blood pressure? We need to refresh a bit of our school science to understand how blood circulation works in our body and what it actually means when someone has hypertension or high blood pressure. The reason I want to explain the anatomy and physiology here is to help us understand why hypertension occurs and to appreciate how yoga plays a role in managing it. We are going to focus on 3 important parts of the body: the heart, the lungs, and the blood vessels. This is quite similar to the plumbing system in our homes. If you live in an independent house or even an apartment, you probably noticed that water is pumped by a motor and then supplied to all your bathrooms and kitchen through pipelines, right? In our body, the heart acts like a pump, sending blood to all parts of the body through arteries, which function as pipelines. Blood pressure is simply the force exerted by the blood against the walls of the arteries. Hypertension, that is high blood pressure, occurs when this force is too high, exceeding the standard of 120 by 80. The 120 represents the systolic pressure here and the 80 represents the diastolic pressure. As you know, the heart is responsible for pumping blood into the arteries. The pressure measured when the heart pumps blood is called systolic pressure, while the pressure measured when the heart relaxes is called diastolic pressure. In a typical building, the water pipelines are not all the same size. They usually start with 2-inch pipe, then reduce to 1.5, and finally when they reach the fixture, the pipe size further reduces to half an inch. Similarly, the arteries that originate from the heart are larger in size, and as they branch out towards different organs, they divide into smaller arteries called arterioles. They eventually lead to even thinner tubes called capillaries, which nourish the cells. As the size reduces, the pressure is maintained until it reaches the final organ. In a building, after use, whether it is after a shower or cleaning or washing your hands, the wastewater is collected separately and flows to the drain, right? Similarly, in our body, deoxygenated blood is collected through veins, which acts like a wastewater line in our body. In buildings, we typically send wastewater to the sewer, or in more sustainable buildings, we use water purifiers to recycle and purify the water as grey water for non-potable uses. In our body, we cannot afford to waste that much blood. So instead, deoxygenated blood is collected by the veins and returned to the heart, which pumps into the lungs where it is purified with fresh oxygen. So here the lungs acts like a water purifier. This is the process. Now let's explore how yoga plays a role much like a plumbing engineer here. There are several reasons why someone's blood pressure can rise. We will discuss 3 possible causes of high blood pressure and see how yoga can help each one. The first one, the stress is the most common cause of high blood pressure. cortisol, one of the stress hormone, increases when you are stressed. Prolonged high levels of cortisol can elevate the pressure against the walls of the blood vessels. The second cause is that blood vessels become thicker and stiffer with age. However, there are ways to keep your blood vessel supple and flexible as you age, which we will discuss shortly. The third cause that we are going to talk about is narrowing of the blood vessels. This happens due to buildup of cholesterol, calcification, and lipids in the arteries, restricting the blood flow. Now let us discuss one of the most significant causes of hypertension: stress. Cortisol, a stress hormone, can elevate blood pressure by triggering your sympathetic nervous system, SNS. There are two types of nervous system that help maintain balance in the body and mind. Sympathetic nervous system, also known as fight or flight response. Parasympathetic nervous system, which is also called as rest and digest response. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for increasing your heart rate, raising your blood pressure, boosting energy levels to prepare the body and mind for a dangerous situation, or this could be a stress related to an upcoming event or a project you need to complete, or even responsibilities you have. Anything that triggers stress can activate the sympathetic nervous system. On the other hand, the parasympathetic nervous system slows down your heart rate, lowers the blood pressure, encourages relaxation and recovery, allows you to think and act clearly rather taking hasty decisions, enables your internal organs to function properly. We need a balance of both the systems, but when you are constantly in a heightened state of sympathetic nervous system or SNS, due to stress, it starts to show up in the body and can eventually lead to chronic hypertension. Now, when you practice yoga, especially pranayama, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This helps calm your mind, slows your heart rate, and lower your blood pressure. The PNS is typically triggered by long exhalation. That is why the classical pranayama ratio is 1 part of inhalation to 2 parts of exhalation. It is designed to activate the PNS in the body. When it comes to asanas, you can also trigger the PNS through certain exhale postures. I'm sure you know what I mean by exhale posture. Those postures that are achieved through exhalation. For example, Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold, or Syendrasana, supine spine twist, or any twist, seated or standing. To summarize, practicing exhale postures and pranayama with a higher exhalation to inhalation ratio activates the parasympathetic nervous system, calms the mind, and helps lower blood pressure. Another essential practice that should be included in your daily routine, and one that has an immediate effect on the blood pressure, is Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is a relaxation technique, either self-guided or led by an instructor, that helps you to relax every part of your body, every muscle, every cell in your system. When someone has high blood pressure or is stressed, they often unknowingly tighten their muscle. This muscle tension constricts the blood vessel, creating a kind of a vicious cycle that can further elevate your blood pressure. I have a separate video on a guided relaxation, Yoga Nidra. I've included the link for the video in the description below. Check it out and see if that relaxes your mind. Now, let us take a look at the second cause, aging. As we age, the muscle tone in our body loses elasticity and the blood vessel becomes stiff and harder, which creates more pressure against the walls of the arteries. Think of water flowing through a smooth PVC pipe versus an old rusted iron pipe. The flow is much easier in the PVC pipe because there is less friction exerted on the inner walls compared to the iron pipe, right? Similarly, if your blood vessel becomes hard and stiff, blood cannot flow as freely. It is important to understand that the muscle tone in our body has a direct impact on the health of your arteries. When you don't use a particular muscle, its tone, strength, and elasticity are all affected. Imagine a rubber band that has been sitting unused in your drawer for a long time. When you pick it up after a while, it breaks as soon as you try to stretch it, right? Similarly, if any part of your muscle is left unused, it loses its tone, strength, and elasticity. How does yoga help improve muscle tone in our body? When you practice various asanas, you engage muscles that are rarely used in our daily activities. You might ask, I'm already very active. I do a lot of chores around the house and I go for walks every day. All of that is great. Being physically active keeps your muscles engaged and walking improves blood circulation. But my question here is, are you able to engage and activate most of the muscle groups in your body? When you see an asana like this, someone might wonder, why contour yourself like a pretzel? But training your body to perform different types of asanas strengthens and stretches muscles that aren't typically used. You may not reach this asana, and that's perfectly fine. The final posture is not important. Only the journey towards reaching that posture is important. Look at these postures. The muscles engaged to reach these positions are not typically used in our everyday chores. Remember, as the muscle tone becomes stronger and more elastic, it also helps maintain the health of your arteries, preventing them from becoming stiff. When the arteries are not stiff, the pressure against their walls is lower, meaning there is no hypertension. The blood flows freely, much like water flowing easily through a PVC pipe compared to an iron pipe which has a lot of friction. Let's look at one more cause of high blood pressure, narrowing of blood vessels. This is a common reason why people develop high blood pressure. When the arteries become narrower due to buildup of cholesterol, calcification and lipids on the inner walls, blood pressure increases. However, this is not as simple as it sounds. There are more complex phenomena occurring here. To explain it from a basic science perspective, when the cross-sectional area decreases, the pressure increases. Let's go back to the plumbing example now in our house. Our pipes gets clogged over time due to sediment buildup from the water, especially if the water is untreated. Similarly, the inner walls of our arteries accumulate deposits over time, reducing the passage. So, what happens as a result? The heart has to work harder to pump blood to all parts of the body. This increases the pressure because the blood has to pass through a narrower passage. Several studies have shown that yoga has a beneficial effect on reducing the plaque buildup in the arteries. How does yoga achieve this? For example, when you practice Suryanamaskar and gradually build your capacity to perform even multiple rounds, the blood circulation throughout your body improves significantly. This helps prevent the buildup of plaque such as cholesterol or calcium in the arteries. Additionally, when you hold certain postures for a longer period of time, anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, the effect extends to your vascular health, your blood vessel. This practice helps to keep the arteries and veins supple and strong, ensuring that the inner walls remain smooth, allowing blood to flow freely through your system. To conclude, regular yoga practice not only improves overall blood circulation but also maintains the arteries and veins flexible and free from any kind of plaque buildup or any kind of friction. Now coming to the question of what yoga practice one should do to bring this blood pressure under control. I want to tell you one important thing before we go into my list of suggested practices for controlling BP. Practicing yoga through various postures and pranayamas has to be very individualized. What suits me may not suit you. This is not like if you have a headache, you take this medicine. If you have stomach upset, these are the things you should do. If you happen to search online, say what are the yoga poses for high BP, it will give you a set of asanas. If you search what yoga poses should I do for migraine, it will give you another set of asanas. If you search what poses should I do for not fighting with my spouse, it will give you a set of asanas. What I'm trying to establish here is there is no one size fits all set of yoga poses for a specific issue. Yoga must be approached holistically. It requires a balance, a rhythm between the postures and pranayamas you choose from to achieve the desired results. So, what I will offer you is suggested set of practices and not prescribed practices for high BP, which you should practice based on your comfort level and progressively work towards improving it over a time period, not like doing everything all in one day. Start with conscious breathing for at least 2 minutes. These 2 minutes will give you the opportunity to focus on yourself and mentally prepare for your yoga practice, whatever your goals may be. This could involve yogic breathing, ujjayi breathing, or simply bringing awareness to your breath. Always start with the cleansing pranayama, such as Nadishodhana, alternate nostril breathing, which not only cleanses your nadis but also calms and balances your nervous system. Choose the breathing ratio based on your comfort level. I have another video on Nadishodhana, so please watch that for more clarity on the practice. Initially, avoid kumbhaka, that is breath retention, and focus only on the inhale and exhale components of Nadishodhana. Always warm up your body before you start asanas. It could be even a 5-minute walk inside your house, Suryanamaskar, or any simple sequence of asanas. Remember, an active practice is essential for improving blood circulation in the body. We have discussed in detail how improved circulation helps prevent the buildup of clogs in the arteries. If you have learned Suryanamaskar, you can practice anywhere from 2 to 6 rounds, gradually building it up. If Suryanamaskar feels difficult, there are other simple vinyasas guided by breath that can help improve the circulation. Keep in mind, such practices should not increase your heart rate. When doing Suryanamaskar, it should be done slowly with a minimum of 2 breaths per posture. You should include various asanas to engage different parts of the body. As we discussed earlier in this video, every muscle group needs to be activated along with breath. I will provide some suggested asanas, but keep in mind this is not an exhaustive list. Be sure that every asana you practice is paired with a counter asana. Chakravagasana, cat pose with child's pose. As you inhale, reach cat posture, and as you exhale, reach child's pose. Repeat this for 3 to 10 rounds. Finally, stay in the child's pose for at least 5 long breaths. When I say 3 to 10 rounds, if you are a beginner, you start with 3 and progress towards 10 rounds. Janu Shirasasana. As you inhale, lift your arms over the head. As you exhale, bend forward, leading head towards the knee. Repeat this again for 3 to 4 rounds each leg. Finally, stay in Janu Shirasasana for 5 long breaths. As you advance, you can also add Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold, once you have enough hip flexibility. Then Bhujangasana. As you inhale, lift your upper body from the navel up. As you exhale, gently bring the forehead towards the floor. Repeat this for 3 to 10 rounds. As you advance, you can even add Dhanurasana once you gain enough flexibility, bow posture. Then you have the Dvipada Pitam and Apanasana. As you inhale, lift your hip up. As you exhale, bring the knees towards the chest, guiding with your palms. Repeat this again 3 to 10 rounds. Finally, stay in Apanasana for at least 5 breaths. You can even build up to 7 breaths in the exhale postures. Parivritti, twisting postures. You can either add a twisting posture in the seated position or in the supine lying down position. Stay for 5 to 7 breaths in the twist and release it. Diaphragmatic breathing. Practice yogic breathing in the lying down position with your knees bent. Engage your diaphragm on every breath. With each inhalation, feel your chest expand and your abdomen raise like a balloon. With each exhalation, draw your navel gently inwards, lengthen the exhalation and feel your body relax. Yoga Nidra, a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes of guided relaxation is very essential. This will help relax your entire body and mind, releasing any tension. you may have held during the practice or due to stress. Breathing practices at both the beginning and end of your session is very important. Learn pranayama techniques from a qualified yoga teacher, or if you prefer online learning, I offer pranayama and asana classes as well, and also workshops. The link to my website is provided in the description box below. Please check it out. Here I'll give you some suggested pranayama techniques that help calm the mind. Ujjayi breathing with exhalation twice that of the inhalation. Chandra Bedana Pranayama, which calms the mind, trigger the parasympathetic nervous system in the body. Sheetali Pranayama, Brahmari Pranayama. The next one, Pranayama leading to meditation. A minimum of 5 minutes of dharana practice is essential. Focus on one object with your eyes closed. The object could be your breath, an external object, your third eye chakra, or your favorite deity. Stay with the object for 5 to 10 minutes. By practicing yoga consistently, you can bring hypertension under control. I hope you gained some valuable insights from this video. If you would like to learn more about the science of yoga, please consider subscribing to my channel and sharing it with friends who may benefit from yoga. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.